Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
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 Good morning, sir.
Good morning, everyone.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, yesterday which file you have sent, sir, that is not being opened.
Okay. So just we will
Okay, sir.
start the class now. Then I will explain once to everyone. I think most of them may be having the issue. I will explain.
Okay, sir.
Sir, but laptop it opened.
Yeah, that is the thing. It is opening in laptop.
Yes.
It mobile there is some issue. Yeah.
Yes, sir. It is showing failed to load photo.
Mm-mm.
So, in the previous slide also you have sent us prokaryotic versus eukaryotic. So in that also net it is not only then you say that in mobile it should be the SVG or ink escape. These kind of things will be then only it will open.
Yes, yes. So I think some of the students last time they have not followed or they were not there or something. So for their benefit, I will just repeat a couple of things, so you can try. But it is not going to open very well in the mobile. Even after the app, it is very slow, very slow. So you will think that it is not working only. Okay, so better to use a desktop or laptop. That it will only be better.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Okay, so until then you revise the previous class, all of you. I will ask some random questions. Okay, so let me ask a few questions. Anikesh Kumar, roll number 6. Anikesh, huh. So in the stomach, which type of tissue is present?
Cardiac tissue.
You are telling cardiac?
Yes, sir.
Cardiac tissue is present in heart, no, it is not in stomach. So already we have covered about the epithelial tissue and little bit about connective tissue. So there is a kind of epithelial tissue present in stomach. What is that one? Okay, you can revise. Please revise. Nidhi Sinha 39. Nidhi 39. Okay. 41 Nishchay Govind.
Yes, sir.
So in the stomach, which kind of epithelial tissue is there?
Sir, can you please repeat?
In the stomach, which type of epithelial tissue is present?
Sir, that is columnar epithelial tissue.
Under the columnar epithelial tissue, which specific type is there?
Sir, ciliated columnar tissue.
No. That is the glandular. Glandular. Because the ciliated one, where it is there? It is found in the trachea. Okay, because in the trachea that cilia is required for pushing out that mucus when you get cough and all those things, to push out that dirt and impurities. But glandular epithelium is for some kind of secreting function. So in the stomach there is the digestive, the gastric juices are there, HCl is there. These things have to be secreted, glandular function. So it is there in the stomach. Okay. Next, Parth 44. So,
Yes.
in the blood vessels, which kind of epithelial tissue is there?
Sir, I think squamous epithelium.
Squamous. Okay, squamous ones are thin. Okay, they are thin and they are there in the lining of the blood vessels, mouth, nasal cavity, and so on. Oh, correct answer. Next one, Pratyush 47. Pratyush Agarwal 47. Raghav 49. "52 Sakshi. 54 Sanju Joseph. Okay, so all the students are not getting my voice, or you are feeling afraid?
Sir, getting your voice.
Getting no. So okay, so anyway, you see what you have to do is the same day you need to revise these things. If you don't revise, it is difficult, no, you will forget. Okay, so there is a lot of time and effort that is going into this one. So I have been repeating in the classes. Class 9 is a very serious platform. From class 9 you will go into the next board exam. So the habits, okay, habits are very important. What are the habits? What kind of habits you are developing? That you have to do it. If you make it a habit in your class 9, in your class 10, it will become a natural way of your study process. Okay, so that you have to do it. So in the previous class we have covered up to connective tissue. Okay, we have to start connective tissue. We have covered the epithelial tissue. Okay.
Yes.
So Connective tissue. So the term connective, that itself means very clear that it is connecting some things. Here it is connecting the tissues and organs. Okay, it binds the tissues and organs with each other, keeping them in their proper place. They have fewer cellular elements, abundant matrix, that is the intercellular substance and fibers. So between the cells, whatever the space is there between the cells, that is known as what space is it called?
Intercellular.
Intercellular space. So in this intercellular space, like in plant cell, there is the cell wall. Okay, just outside the cell there is a cell wall. So one cell is having cell wall, beside cell is also having cell wall, so both of them are coming very close to each other, almost touching each other. So that gap what is there between these two cells, it will be filled up by some kind of a substance. Okay, that is called a matrix. Matrix. Matrix is any filling kind of substance is there, and also some fibers. So this connective tissue, it is having some matrix material and some fibers. All of this main function is to keep them in the organs in their proper place. There are the different types of connective tissue. One is the connective tissue proper. Proper means proper. The main function is to keep the organs in their place. Connective tissue proper. The other is the supportive connective tissue. That means this connective tissue is also going to give some supporting function. And the third one is the fluid connective tissue. Okay, so it is having the flowing property. It is connecting, but itself it is flowing. Okay, so these three types of the connective tissue are there. We will see one by one. One is the connective tissue proper. Okay, so as the term suggests, proper means the function of packing and binding the organs, keeping them in place. That is the function. Three types of connective tissue proper are there. One is the areolar tissue. Areolar tissue. So when we say areolar, what is coming to your mind?
Area.
Some kind of area or air or something like that. So here sometimes we are ordering things online. Okay, so they will be delivered at your home and they will be packed. Okay, other than the packing of that material itself, there will be an external packing that will help it to survive that transport. So there may be lot of cardboard, may be there, some kind of newspapers may be there, or foam material may be there. Okay, these things. So what is the function? They are helping to avoid that shock. Whatever stress is there, whatever strain is there during the transportation, it is helping in that. So that packing, generally how it will be, whether it is very what you say hard kind of material we are not putting, no, we are putting something that is having a lot of air in it so that it can absorb the shock. Okay, so here this areolar or packing tissue, it is also working like that only. Okay, so what happens is, it is most widely spread occurring beneath the epidermis of the skin. It functions to make the skin elastic so that it can withstand the pulling strain. Okay, so the areolar tissue is the packing tissue that is below the epidermis of the skin. Okay, so just like that packing material that is coming outside, there will be a hard cardboard, inside in between there will be some kind of a soft material, and then inside that your package will be there. So that between soft material whatever is there, okay, that one is the packing tissue, areolar tissue, occurring beneath the epidermis of the skin, and just when we are pulling the skin also it is remains elastic, it is able to withstand the strain. Okay, the other type of the connective tissue proper is the adipose tissue or fat containing tissue. So the importance of the fats in our body is not only for the purpose of energy, but also it is important to give a kind of a cushion to the soft organs of the body. Okay. This adipose tissue are the specialized cells that store fat. They form the padding under the skin, around the kidneys, eyeball, etc. Padding under the skin acts as an insulation for retaining the body heat. Okay. So just like the polar bear, just before going for hibernation in the winter season, it will eat a lot. Okay, build up a lot of fat under its skin. This fat will not only give it the energy during its hibernation, but also it will prevent the loss of the body heat. Okay, and whatever these soft organs are there, like liver, kidney, eyeball, around them there will be a covering of these fats. Lot of fats will be there, so that they will give some kind of a cushion, so that they are not damaged by some sudden movement or impact. Okay, that is the adipose tissue. The next one is the fibrous connective tissue. Fibrous. Okay, there are a lot of fibers. This is very important, very favorite questions for the examiner. The fibrous connective tissue is made up of fibers, that is elongated cells. They are strong and bundled together by the areolar tissue. There are the two types of fibrous tissue, one is the tendons and one is the ligaments. These two terms are very confusing for the students. They will write this for that and that for this. Okay, so you should devise a way that you don't confuse. Tendons are going to connect the muscle to the bone. Ligament is going to connect bone to bone. Okay. Tendon, ligament. Tendon. It's like 10 fibers are there. Tendons. So what they are doing? They are going to link the muscle to the bone. Okay. Tendon is going to link the muscle to the bone. The ligament is going to link the bone to bone. Okay, bone to bone. So,
Sir, ligament is just like as a cross section, no?
cross section means
Sir, in cross pattern it is.
so the ligament here, both this ligament and tendon, they are coming under the category of what? Connective tissue. They are connecting the two things. So these are made of fibers, just like muscles are there. Muscles are also fiber kind of. Like that only, these tendons and ligaments are also having this fiber, but they have this specialized function. Okay, they are, if you look more carefully here, for example, knee joint is there. Okay, knee joint. This muscle is there. It is joining to the cap, knee cap. Okay, so in the front knee cap is there, and this muscle, some quadriceps muscle, it is joining to the kneecap. So is this muscle directly joining with the kneecap? No. Can you move your kneecap? Is it possible to move your kneecap?
No, sir.
No, sir.
You just extend your legs and try to contract your muscles, these muscles. Okay, you can move it. You can move it, because most of the people, they don't do it. Slowly they lose this, but you can move it. The muscles are connected to this one. This kneecap is not like a stationary bone, no, it is a floating kind of bone only. It is not like fixed big bone or something. So the kneecap slightly can be moved with the help of contraction expansion of these muscles. Now this muscle is attached to the kneecap via this this one that is called a tendon. Okay, so muscle to bone by tendon, and you see this down is the tibia, that is the lower limb, long bone, tibia, and femur bone, that is in the thighs region, femur bone. Okay, now this behind this tibia, this is there, this bone and the femur, they are attached to each other. This is through the bone to bone attachment by ligament. Okay, this is another. So these two are connective tissue, tendon and ligament. Ligament is going to join the bone to bone, and the ligament to bone to bone, and tendon the muscle to bone. Okay. So this part, most of the students, they will confuse again and again that who is going to join whom. Okay, tendon is muscle to bone. Whatever the logic you want to use, you can use, but you need to remember that. Okay. The next type of connective tissue is the supportive connective tissue. Okay, supportive connective tissue, that is giving support. These are the two examples, cartilage and bone. Okay, so I think most of you know what is a cartilage. So cartilage, it is found where? In the
Nose and ears.
in the tip of the nose and tip of the ears and all. Throughout the ear it is there, in the tip of the nose. So it is also present in the trachea, which is the windpipe, the bronchial tubes, and in between this vertebrae. Okay, that is our backbone, vertebrae. So in between the vertebrae, there will be a space. In that space, there is the cartilage. Okay, and at the end of the long bones, okay, like this knee joint, you will be seeing this femur and all these big bones will come. So at the end also, they will have a very soft kind of transparent and elastic structure that is covering it, that is the cartilage. Okay, so the cartilage is a semi-transparent and elastic. It is a non-porous tissue with a thickened intercellular substance, that is the matrix. The matrix is thick. The important part is cartilage has no blood supply, okay, no blood vessels and no nerves. Okay, that is important. When we compare the cartilage with the bone, okay, when we compare the cartilage with the bone is porous and it is having good supply of blood vessels and nerves. Generally, most of the students, most of the people, they will think that the bone is like some kind of a rock. It has already become very strong and it is a dead kind of thing. But the bone itself is a living tissue. Okay, it has living cells. These living cells are known as osteoblast. This is also important, one more question. Keep on repeating, osteoblast. The living cells of the bone are known as osteoblast. And this osteoblast, okay, they will form a three-dimensional network, one kind of network. And in that kind of network, these inorganic materials, so you know, just like now we are getting water from underground boring, we are using at home, no? So the salts are, sometimes you get hard water, lot of salts will be there. Because of that, the taps and buckets and all, they will have a lot of deposition of the salts. In the bones also, because they are the porous, they are hard and they are porous. So when the blood is flowing through them, okay, then slowly there will be a deposition of the salts like a calcium, phosphate and so on. So that is going to give the strength to the bone. Can anyone say that where is the blood produced in the body?
The bone marrow.
Bone marrow.
It's a bone marrow.
In the bone marrow. The bone marrow is present inside the bone. So inside the bone there is the hollow region that is having the bone marrow. So if blood is being produced inside the bone, after production of the blood it should come outside also, no? So it is a porous structure. The bone is a porous structure. Okay, and it is having very good supply of the blood vessels and nerves. But cartilage, no blood vessels and nerves. Therefore, sometimes we pierce the ear or nose. Compared to having your bone broken, the pain of piercing the ear or nose is comparatively less. Of course, there will be pain because the nerve endings are there in the ear as it is. But the cartilage itself does not have any blood supply, doesn't have any nerves. Okay, therefore there is not too much blood that is going to come out when they pierce this ears and nose. Okay, so that is an important difference between cartilage and bone. The next important type of connective tissue is the fluid connective tissue. Fluid, the connective tissue that is able to flow. There are the two types of fluid connective tissue. One is the blood, one is the lymph. The blood itself is composed of the two parts. In your class 8 also you have studied. One is the liquid part is called plasma, and the cell part is the RBCs, WBCs and platelets. There is another circulating system, another fluid that is circulating in our body, that is the lymph. So what is this lymph? That is the fluid that is surrounding the blood cells. So what is happen when this blood plasma is the liquid part of the blood. So when the blood is passing through the blood vessels, so generally what we are thinking, blood vessels are like pipe. Pipe means the plastic pipe we are using at home to put water in the garden and so on. But the blood vessel is not like a plastic pipe. It is porous. It allows some substances to pass through it. So what happens, that the blood plasma, it can ooze out of the blood vessel. So whatever the cells are there and the space between them is there, that is filled by the plasma of the blood. The composition is a bit different because in the blood you have the RBCs also, platelets also, but in plasma we don't have those. Okay, so WBCs are there in the lymph, and you know that the WBCs are required for what purpose? Immunity purpose. Okay. The blood is circulated in the body by the pump known as the heart. And the lymph is circulated in the body by what mechanism?
Lymphatic system.
Yes, but is there any specific pump for the lymphatic system?
No, sir.
There is no specific one. So the heart is going to pump the blood through the circulatory system. Okay, but for the lymphatic system there is no specific pump. Okay, when we move our body, when we exercise, okay, when we are performing work, at that time passively the lymph will move, it will circulate. Okay, and because the lymph is rich in WBC, and is required for fighting infection. The person who is a lazy person, okay, not doing much work, watching too much television, always something, lying down, not much of circulation in the body, such a person immunity level will be less. And a person who is active, the WBCs will be constantly circulating in the body. They will be surveying the body for any kind of infections, and therefore such a person will have a better immunity. Okay, so under the fluid connective tissue we have this blood and lymph. Two things are there. Okay, any doubts you have in this connective? Okay. Okay, I think we are about time, and the muscular tissue and nervous tissue we will see in the next class. Okay, so I will take the attendance. In meanwhile, if you have any doubt, you can ask. I will send.
Then you will give instructions for project.
Yes. So for the project, I will send it today. Maximum by tomorrow, you will receive. Okay. For a project,
Okay,
what
sir.
has to be done. Okay, I will
Okay,
send
sir.
that. In the meanwhile, all of you are solving the end of the chapter questions.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I have already asked you to solve end of the chapter questions. So you are kept a practical notebook. In the practical notebook, you are solving the question. Take the photo of that one. Okay, take a proper photo, and then convert into PDF, and you can upload in the Google Classroom. I will check that from time to time. Okay, and any specific questions you are not able to answer, you can ask. Yes. Any doubt?
Chapter 2 only, no?
So the earlier cell chapter you have all solved, you have written in your book. Okay, that one you have done. Okay, and this now we'll finish this chapter. After that you can solve. In the meantime, in between the chapter, the questions are there. No, few questions are there in between the chapter. So those also you keep solving. Okay, and
Okay, sir.
you can upload those things as a PDF in the Google Classroom. You can do it. Okay, I will be checking that from time to time. Okay, then thank you all.
And what about the test?
The test, I will take a combination of both these chapters, as cell and tissue I will take together. Okay, so after your summer vacation I will take it.
Excuse me,
Yeah.
sir.